Welcome back to Horoscope TV. I have been really looking forward to this one, actually.
Me too. It is such an exciting chart.
It really is, because we are looking at the week of March 9 to March 15. And this is specifically for anyone with the sign of
Yeah.
Sagittarius. I have the charts spread out right here on the table. And the amount of forward movement packed into these 7 days is honestly staggering.
It is a massive week.
If you have that Sagittarius sign, this episode is custom tailored directly for you. We are going to look at a week that feels like, well, like a massive release of pressure.
Yes, it
Yeah.
really is a turning point. Our goal today is to analyze the astrological data for this specific week.
Exactly.
We're going to track the location of the planets, the major transits, the moon phases, and really just break down what all this data actually means for your everyday life.
Bring it down to earth for everyone.
Right, because there is a lot of fire in the sky right now. And when you have that much heat, things move fast.
I want to talk about that speed right away, actually. Looking at the transits, the energy just seems to redline almost immediately on Monday.
It does start with a bang.
It feels like the universe is handing out a hall pass to just go wild.
Well, I would hesitate to call it a hall pass to go wild, you know?
No?
It is a green light, yes, absolutely. But with that kind of speed comes the need to steer.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Fast, fiery energy requires you to remain organized and keep your balance. When the astrology pushes you forward this quickly, it is very easy to lose your footing if you are not paying attention to the details.
Because you're moving so fast?
Exactly. The stars are providing the engine power right now, but you still have to be the driver.
That makes total sense. You have to point the car in the right direction before you step on the gas.
Yes.
So let's start with the big picture for the week. We're calling this the Great Forward Shift. And the main character here is obviously Jupiter.
Jupiter is the anchor for this entire forecast.
Because it's their ruling planet. Right.
Yeah. Right. Because it is your ruling planet, anything Jupiter does affects you on a much deeper level than the other signs. The sequence of events here sets a very specific tone for you.
Let's walk through that sequence.
Okay, so on March 9, Mercury forms a trine with Jupiter.
And a trine is the good one.
Yes, a trine is a flowing, supportive angle. It brings luck. On that exact same day, the moon enters Sagittarius.
Oh, wow, double hit.
But the pick of the week, the actual moment all this energy builds toward, is March 11. That is when Jupiter finally stations and goes direct.
Okay, let's break down that March 9 energy first before we get to the big shift. Having Mercury trine Jupiter while the moon moves into your own sign, that just feels like a mental and emotional reset button.
It is a huge shift in how you see the world. Mercury handles our day-to-day thoughts, the way we process information and how we talk to ourselves in our own heads.
It's an inner voice.
Exactly. So when it forms that lucky trine with Jupiter, your ruling planet, the mind expands.
You stop sweating the small stuff.
Yes. You stop worrying about the tiny, annoying details that have been dragging you down lately. You suddenly see the big picture again. You remember your actual goals.
And with the moon entering Sagittarius at the exact same time, your emotions are matching that big mental expansion.
It is a total alignment.
I feel like you wake up on that Monday and the world just feels lighter. There is this really strong urge for, I guess you could call it structured optimism.
That is a great phrase for it.
It is not just blind faith that things will magically work out. It is a true, real joy because you can actually see the path forward.
That is the perfect way to describe it. The emotional spark on Monday is undeniable. Mercury brings in happy thinking and good news, often related to your home life or your daily routine.
Which sets a really cheerful tone for the whole week.
It does. You are thinking clearly and you are feeling confident, but the real structural change, the big event, happens on March 11th.
Jupiter going direct. We have been waiting for this.
For a long time.
When a ruling planet has been retrograde, it just feels like you are walking with ankle weights on.
That is exactly what it feels like. For months now, Jupiter retrograde has demanded inward focus. It has forced you to look back at your beliefs, your personal goals, and your sense of meaning.
Which is exhausting.
It really is. It can feel like your personal projects are just stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
You put in the hard work, but the rewards just lag behind.
Nothing moves.
Right. But when Jupiter stations direct on March 11, that mud dries up. The road is totally clear. Your personal and emotional goals can finally move forward safely without that heavy drag.
I can imagine listeners physically feeling that shift on Wednesday.
Oh, absolutely.
It is like carrying a heavy backpack for 10 miles and finally taking it off. Your posture changes, your breathing changes. You realize how much extra effort you were putting in just to maintain a normal baseline.
And because this is Jupiter, which is the planet of growth and expansion, that relief is followed by a huge surge of ambition.
You don't just want to stand there without the backpack.
No, you want to start running. But we need to look at how the week ends, because the energy does change shape. We start with this happy, expansive Jupiter vibe, but by March 15, Mercury catches up and meets Mars.
Mercury and Mars coming together, that is a very different flavor of energy.
Very different.
Mercury is our voice, right? And Mars is the fighter, the fire. So when they sit in the exact same spot in the sky, the filter drops completely.
The filter is totally gone. Mercury and Mars together create a sudden, sharp mental speed.
Your brain is moving a mile a minute.
Yes. It gives you the courage to speak your honest mind, but it also gives you the edge of a blade. The optimistic ideas you started forming back on March 9 have taken shape.
And by March 15, you are ready to shout them from the rooftops.
You are ready to declare them out loud, and you will not have much patience for anyone who tries to slow you down.
That could be brilliant, or it could be a little dangerous, depending on who you were talking to.
It really depends on the audience.
Because you are waking up with this urge to get things done, and you are speaking your truth with zero hesitation.
It is all about conviction. You are no longer questioning yourself. You might find yourself having a very blunt conversation with a family member or a friend on Sunday that just clears the air completely.
Just laying it all out on the table.
Right. And you are not doing it to be mean. You are doing it because the truth is the fastest way forward.
And speed is what you crave right now. That feeling of bold honesty is going to spill over into every area of life. I want to look at how this plays out in relationships because the love and romance forecast this week is fascinating.
It really is.
We are calling this section Intense Passion and Breaking the Rules.
The astrology here is a bit complex, but very rewarding if you lean into it. We have two major Venus transits to analyze. On March 10, Venus forms a sextile with Pluto.
Okay.
Then, a few days later, on March 13, Venus connects with wild Lilith.
Let's start with Venus and Pluto. Pluto brings the hidden stuff to the surface, the raw truth. So when it connects with Venus, superficial dating just sounds terrible.
It will hold zero appeal for you. A sextile is an opportunity. It is a door opening. Venus and Pluto together create a window for intense passion and incredibly strong emotional bonds in your romantic life.
So no casual small talk over coffee.
No. This is about wanting to safely know someone's deepest fears and greatest desires. It is a time to strip away the polite masks we wear in relationships.
If you are in a long-term relationship, this is the night you sit on the couch and end up talking until 3 in the morning about things you haven't discussed in years.
Exactly.
You want that deep, real connection. You want to look at your partner and know that they truly see the real you.
And you have the astrological support to do exactly that right now. Pluto often gets a bad reputation for being heavy or dark, but in a supportive angle like a sextile, it provides the strength to be truly vulnerable.
You feel safe opening up.
Yes, you can safely enjoy those deep connections
Yeah.
because the foundation feels solid.
But then we get to March 13 and the vibe changes again. Venus meets Lilith. Lilith is such a wild, rebellious energy. How does a Sagittarius handle that in a relationship?
Well, Sagittarius naturally loves freedom anyway, and Lilith demands that you be real at all costs.
Right.
So when Venus connects with Lilith, the stars are telling you to break boring, traditional, old rules. Any part of your love life that feels like an outdated script is going to feel like a cage.
What does an outdated script look like in real life?
It is the things you do just because society or your family told you that is how relationships are supposed to work.
Like reaching certain milestones by a certain age.
Exactly. Or the idea that date night has to be a boring dinner and a movie. Or the belief that you cannot be highly independent while also being committed. Lilith exposes all those rules as totally fake.
I think about the couples who just go through the motions. Every Friday is the same exact restaurant. Every anniversary is the same type of gift.
Right, it gets stale.
Venus and Lilith are telling you to rip up that rule book. Go do something completely new and out of character. Try something physically fun and thrilling with your trusted partner.
The word thrilling is the key there. Because Venus and Pluto helped build that deep, raw trust earlier in the week, you now have the secure base required to go be adventurous.
You are safe to play.
Yes. You are not breaking the rules to run away from the relationship. You are breaking the rules to wake it up.
I love that. Take a random road trip to a strange town. Go to an indoor rock climbing gym. Just change the dynamic. Let that natural, warm, magnetic charm shine safely.
The question you really need to ask yourself on March 13 is, what traditional rules in my love life feel outdated and need to be tossed out?
And if you are single, this applies to you too. Stop going on the same boring coffee dates where you ask the same 5 interview questions.
Oh, absolutely.
Go do something you actually think is fun and let the other person tag along. The energy you project when you are breaking those old rules is going to be incredibly magnetic.
That charm comes from just being real. When you stop acting like a standard partner and start being yourself, people are drawn to you. And that process of clearing out old, boring rules in love leads perfectly into clearing out the old rules in your professional life.
It really is the exact same energy. Let's pivot to work and career. We are calling this section Clearing the Deck and Pitching Ideas.
A great title for it.
The timing here is just so perfect because right in the middle of all this forward momentum, we have a moon phase that asks us to pause and purge.
Yes, on March 11th, the very same day Jupiter goes direct, we have the last quarter moon. And it happens to fall right in your sign, Sagittarius.
A last quarter moon is the turning point before the new moon. It is the phase where you shed things.
It is the absolute time to simply let go. The last quarter moon forces you to look at your daily habits and ask what is not working anymore.
What is just taking up space?
Exactly. Because it happens in your own sign, it is very personal. It is time to drop highly outdated daily habits. We are looking specifically at habits surrounding your workload, financial balance, or your home balance. If routine does not work anymore, you have permission to drop it.
Think about the paperwork and clutter we all pile up at work. The weekly meeting that really should just be a quick email.
Yes.
The complicated spreadsheet you update every single morning that your boss never actually reads. You do these things just because of habit. But right now, you have to clear that heavy physical deck.
To build a strong foundation for your long-term ambitions, you first have to clear out the trash. The professional world right now requires a careful balance of fast action and clever strategy.
You cannot run a race if your shoes are filled with rocks.
I love that. You have to dump the rocks out of your shoes. Because if you do not, you're going to waste the brilliant mental energy coming your way later in the week.
We talked about Mercury joining Mars on March 15. In a work setting, that transit is just a powerhouse.
In your career, Mercury joining Mars creates a sudden burst of rapid mental speed. Your brain is going to process information faster than anyone else in the office.
You will see the answer to the problem while everyone else is still reading the question.
Exactly. Communication will be bold and confident.
That is the day to safely pitch those amazing, beautiful ideas at work. If you have been sitting on an idea for a new project, March 15th is the day to bring it up. Your mind is moving so fast, you will easily get daily tasks done and have time to present your vision.
But there's a catch.
There usually is.
Mars is aggressive. When it teams up with Mercury, you run the risk of sounding too demanding. You have to consciously watch your tone. You want to impress people with your clever mind, not run them over with your fast ideas.
It is about controlling the fire. You want to be a helpful tool, not a wild hazard.
Right.
If you have cleared out the bad habits earlier in the week during the last quarter moon, your mind will be organized enough to deliver those ideas perfectly.
Keeping things organized is the absolute key to this week. And nowhere is that more true than in your money and finance sector.
Let's talk about the money. This is a huge part of the forecast, and there is a lot to cover. We are calling this section Deep Abundance and Crucial Warnings, because as good as the stars look, there is a massive trap hidden in the middle of the week.
We really need to analyze the money forecast in a few distinct steps. It begins on March 9 with the Mercury and Jupiter connection.
This brings brilliant, safe, profitable ideas directly to your sharp mind.
Yes, your intuition regarding money is very sharp on Monday.
This is the moment a light bulb goes off. You might suddenly see a creative way to make money from a hobby or figure out a smart strategy to save more each month.
The ideas flowing in are highly creative, but also very real and practical.
If you get a brilliant idea for a side hustle on March 9 while you are drinking your morning coffee, write it down.
Write it down, because the ideas are sound, and they get a massive boost on March 11th when Jupiter turns direct.
Here we go again with Jupiter.
It is the main event. We talked about how this removes blocks in your personal goals, but Jupiter is also the planet of wealth. When it moves forward, the heavy blocks that have been holding back your shared financial growth will disappear.
For anyone who has felt stuck, waiting on a raise, or feeling like their savings just won't grow, this is it. The effort you have been putting in starts generating real results. You will feel a massive sense of true abundance and security.
That feeling of security is wonderful, of course. but it leads directly into the danger zone we have to discuss.
This is the big warning.
When you feel abundant, your fear goes away. You start feeling bulletproof. And then we hit March 13th.
What exactly is happening in the sky on the 13th?
Mars makes a connection with the North Node. In astrology, the North Node represents fated events and major life directions. It is a point of hunger, and Mars is the planet of fast, impulsive action.
Sounds like a recipe for jumping before you look.
Exactly. When they connect, there is an overwhelming demand to take a massive leap forward right this second.
And how does that affect Sagittarius when it comes to money?
The data strongly warns that you must be highly careful about making massive fated financial choices regarding your home or real estate on this day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The danger is that the Jupiter direct energy makes you feel wealthy, and the Mars energy makes you impatient.
So you combine feeling lucky with feeling impatient, and you end up doing something huge without thinking.
Yes,
You might be looking at houses online, see one that is way over your budget and think, things are going great, I'll figure out the money later, and just try to buy it.
that is the exact trap you absolutely must avoid. A choice about real estate or a huge loan is a fated choice. It changes your whole life. Mars wants you to sign the papers today because it feels exciting.
But you have to stop.
You must research everything first. You have to slow down.
If you feel the urge to sign a massive mortgage or buy real estate on March 13th, you have to step away from the desk. Do not make a huge financial choice on a whim just because you feel optimistic.
The best advice based on the stars is keep the brilliant ideas on the 9th, enjoy the good feelings on the 11th, but put a hard stop on major spending on the 13th. Talk to an expert, read the rules, wait a week.
It is about keeping your stress low. Keeping money matters organized keeps stress low, which ties directly into your physical health this week.
Yes, let us look at the health and wellness forecast. We are calling this healing waves and staying safe.
I like the sound of healing waves.
The health forecast is a lot like the money forecast. There's wonderful positive energy, but also a real need to be careful.
Let's start with the good stuff. March 11, Jupiter moving direct.
As Jupiter moves forward, it brings a massive, highly positive wave of pure, magical healing energy over your physical body and your optimistic spirit.
That sounds amazing.
During a retrograde, the physical body often feels heavy. Any sad, boring tiredness that has been hanging around will completely vanish.
It is that deep fatigue where even your bones feel tired, right? You sleep for 8 hours and still want to nap.
Exactly. But when Jupiter moves forward, that tiredness completely clears out. Your natural spirit returns, and your body matches it. You'll wake up actually wanting to move around.
And the stars are pushing you toward a very specific type of activity. On March 14th, the moon enters Aquarius.
Aquarius energy is all about the group. It is social.
So you won't want to just sit alone in a dark basement lifting heavy weights.
No, not at all. When the moon moves into Aquarius, you will feel a strong desire to focus on your well-being by trying a fun, brand new social exercise routine.
It is the perfect time to join a new running club or take a group fitness class where there's loud music and everyone is cheering, maybe a local sports league. You need to sweat, but you also need to laugh and chat with people.
Social exercise is the absolute best way to use your returning energy. However, I have to step in with another safety warning for the very end of the week.
March 15 again, the fast energy of Mercury and hot Mars.
We already look at how Mercury and hot Mars speed up your brain and your words. The issue here is that your mind will be moving at light speed, but your physical body cannot keep up.
You are rushing.
Yes. This means you must be entirely careful to avoid accidents. Mars brings speed and heat. Mercury rules our hands and daily movement. When they meet, the risk of minor physical accidents goes up.
Because your brain is already 3 steps ahead. You are thinking about an important email while you are simply working in the kitchen, and suddenly you drop a glass.
Or you trip on the stairs. You have to literally slow down your physical movements to stay safe.
If you are driving, do not rush. If you are cooking, focus on the food. It sounds simple, but you have to force yourself to be present in the moment so you don't get hurt.
Mindfulness is the key to safety on March 15th.
Okay, before we look at how all this energy affects your relationships with the other signs, let's look at the foundational tools for the week. It is time for the cheat sheet. We have your colors, dates, and numbers.
Let us start with the color of the week for Sagittarius. It is purple, and specifically, a deep, rich purple, often seen as color code hashtag 800080.
That deep purple has such a royal, lucky feel to it.
It does. Purple is deeply tied to Jupiter's energy of growth and wisdom. By surrounding yourself with the color purple, you tap directly into this week's lucky energy.
It is like a visual reminder for your brain. You could wear a purple scarf to that big pitch meeting on the 15th to bring in the good luck. Or just make a purple picture the background on your phone.
It helps keep you focused on the positive growth. Now, let us analyze the lucky numbers for the week. The sequence is 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, and 54.
Those are all multiples of 9. The math is very clean.
Yes, it is a pure mathematical pattern. The expert analyzes this sequence and sees that this pure numerical pattern perfectly mirrors the structured optimism of your week.
Fast, but organized.
Exactly. The number 9 represents big ideas and wisdom. The structure of the multiples shows that while you are moving fast, you are following a safe plan.
So you can look out for the number 27 or 45 when making small daily choices.
Yes, and pair them with your best dates, which are March 9, 11, and 13.
March 9 for the good news, March 11th for the massive forward shift, and March 13 for breaking the rules and love safely, of course.
Those are the days to take action.
Perfect. Now that you are armed with your lucky tools, how will you interact with the people around you? Let's look at the social circle. Best and worst matches.
Your best match for the week is definitely Aquarius.
I love that combination. Fire and air.
It is a great mix right now. On March 9, when Mercury and Jupiter connect, both you and Aquarius will share a love for brilliant, rapid, elegant, philosophical conversations.
You can just sit and talk for hours.
Yes, the conversation moves so fast and covers so many amazing topics.
And then on March 14th, when the moon actually enters Aquarius, it gets even better.
Their combined fiery enthusiasm reaches completely new heights on the 14th. Aquarius truly understands your need for fast social interaction.
They match your joyful energy perfectly. You spend long, fast hours laughing, exploring the beautiful world together.
They are the perfect friend to take to that new group fitness class we talked about.
Absolutely. But we also have to look at the other side of the coin. Who is the worst match this week?
The worst match this week is Pisces.
That makes sense. Fire and water can be a tough mix. What makes it so hard this week?
Pisces carries a slow, secretive, deeply emotional energy this week. On March 11th, when Jupiter goes direct, you are going to want to run out and socialize rapidly.
You want to celebrate.
But Pisces will be entirely focused on their dark, boring, internal, deep feelings. They want to stay in the shadows, safely weeping.
Oh, wow. So you are completely on different planets.
Yes. You want to go out and have fun, while your Pisces friend wants to stay home and be very serious.
I can see how that leads to a clash. You show up wanting to party, and they feel like you are ignoring their feelings.
And it gets much worse on March 15.
When Mercury and Mars make you super blunt.
Exactly. Your fast, direct communication will be far too sudden and blunt for a highly sensitive Pisces. If you try to give them advice, it will lead to exhausting, unnecessary emotional fights.
They will feel attacked.
Yes. They will feel attacked by your honesty. These are easily avoidable arguments if you just give them space. Do not speak too bluntly to them this week. Call your Aquarius friend for fun and leave the Pisces friend alone to process their feelings.
Just save everyone the headache.
Exactly.
Well, we have covered so much ground today. From the huge Jupiter shift to tossing out boring relationship rules and making sure to avoid bad real estate choices.
It is a massive week of forward movement, but I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder.
Oh, I love a good question to end on. What is it?
Since the stars are giving you the perfect green light to clear your heavy physical deck and break outdated, boring rules, what is the very first new rule you want to write for your future?
What is the very first new rule you want to write? That is so good. If you are clearing out the old junk, you get to decide what goes in its place.
Exactly. Use this fiery energy to build something you actually want.
Well, thank you for listening to this episode on Horoscope TV. We are so glad you joined us for this look at the stars. Please subscribe so you can get notified the moment the next episode is available. Have a great week.